Welcome to Bibliophil's e-classroom. This session is going to be extremely helpful for all the job aspirants, as the discussion I shall have in this session will help them prepare the current affairs section and also help them understand some core concepts of economics. So let's get started with today's discussion. In this session, I shall have a discussion on the provisions of Tranche 1 of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan economic package. See, the Finance Minister has announced the first tranche of the stimulus package, which amounts to around 5.94 lakh crore rupees out of the total package of 20 lakh crore rupees. So first, let us take a look at the summary of these measures that were announced by the Finance Minister as the first part of the economic stimulus package. The biggest announcement made by the Finance Minister applies for the MSME sector. This includes the provisions of collateral-free automatic loan, that is emergency working capital for MSMEs, amounting to 3 lakh crore rupees. Then it also includes the provision of subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs amounting to 20,000 crore rupees. It also provides for an equity infusion of around 50,000 crore rupees to the MSME sector by establishing a fund of funds. Then, in order to support businesses and workers, the government has extended the exemption that was earlier granted for Employee Provident Fund, that is EPF payments, by 3 more months. This works out to around 2,800 crore rupees. Then, the government has also reduced the EPF contribution from 12% to 10% for a period of 3 months in order to place 6,750 crore of liquidity in the hands of the businesses and workers. Apart from this, the Finance Minister has announced the launch of a special liquidity facility of around 30,000 crore rupees for non-banking finance companies and microfinance institutions, which in turn provide loans to the MSME sector. Then, in order to encourage NBFCs to lend this additional liquidity to the MSME sector, the second version of the Partial Credit Guarantee Scheme has been launched, which accounts for around 45,000 crore rupees. Then the government has also decided to inject liquidity of around 90,000 crore rupees into the power distribution companies, which have been struggling with cash flow as a result of the lockdown. And then the rates of tax deduction at source and tax collection at source, that is TDS and TCS, have been cut by 25% for the next year, which will roughly translate into somewhere around rupees 50,000 crore. Now, if we sector-wise segregate the various provisions contained in this first tranche, we can see these provisions spanned across the MSME, NBFC, real estate, power sectors, and some measures directed towards employees and taxpayers. So let's begin by first taking a detailed look at the support measures that have been announced for the MSME sector. See, the micro, small and medium enterprises that are spread across manufacturing and service constitute the most crucial sector of the Indian economy, accounting for nearly 30% of the India's GDP and accounting for nearly 50% of India's export. This critical sector of the Indian economy provides employment opportunities to nearly 120 million people. According to the estimates provided by the Confederation of Indian Industries, nearly 11 to 12 crore people are employed in the MSME sector. This crucial sector of the Indian economy has been badly hit as a result of the pandemic, and their operations have come to a standstill as a result of the lockdown. So this threatens India's economic output and as well as the livelihoods of millions of people. For these businesses to restart, they should be in a position to buy fresh raw materials to pay salaries, and for these they would require readily available operational capital.
6 major steps for the MSMEs. The first one, there is a collateral-free automatic loan for MSMEs which is being provided. This will give facility up to 3 lakh crores. 25 crore outstanding for those MSME units for whom 25 crore is the outstanding loan, or 100 crores whose turnover will benefit from this. These loans will have a 4-year tenure and there will be a moratorium given for 12 months.
So, for this purpose, the government has decided to set up an emergency credit line through which collateral-free automatic loans would be given to the MSME businesses amounting to around 3 lakh crore rupees. These loans would be disbursed to the MSME businesses through banks and NBFCs. This 100% collateral-free MSME loan is being called the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, and under this scheme, 100% guarantee coverage to be provided by National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. All business enterprises or MSMEs that have a combined outstanding loans across different banks, NBFCs and other financial institutions up to Rs 25 crore as on 29th February 2020, and when the annual turnover of the firm is up to 100 crore for the financial year 2019-20, is eligible for the scheme. Proprietorship, partnership, registered company, trusts and limited liability partnerships are all eligible under the scheme, but only the loans taken for the businesses is being covered. Any loan taken by the promoter or director in his personal capacity will not be covered under this scheme. Then what is important to note that the scheme is valid for existing customers of a bank, NBFC or financial institutions. This means this scheme is not for the new borrowers. Also, the loan account should be less than or equal to 60 days past due as on 29th February 2020. And also, the borrower has not been classified as SMA2 or NPA by any of the lender as on 29th February 2020. See, banks classify borrowers into special mention accounts, that is SMA, based on their delay in repayment. SMA0 loans are those which are overdue between 1 and 30 days. SMA1 loans are overdue between 31 and 60 days, and SMA2 loans are overdue between 61 to 90 days. And an asset of the bank turns NPA, that is non-performing assets, after 90 days of being overdue. Then a borrower to avail this scheme must also be registered under the GST, that is Goods and Services Tax, unless the business is not required or exempted from having a GST registration. Then the maximum amount that can be borrowed under this scheme, either in the form of additional working capital term loan facility, that is in the case of banks and financial institutions, and additional term loan facility in case of NBFCs, is set at 20% of the total outstanding loans, or up to 25 crore rupees as on 29th February 2020. Then, to ensure that the scheme is beneficial to the borrowers and the cost of borrowing is kept low, banks and financial institutions link their lending rate to one of the external benchmark rates prescribed by RBI plus 1%, which is subjected to a maximum of 9.25% per annum. Similarly, NBFCs cannot charge more than 14% as interests for the loans under this scheme. This facility is available for borrowers from May 23rd, 2020 to 31st October 2020 or till an amount of rupees 3 lakh crore has been sanctioned, whichever is earlier. Then, to keep things simple, the scheme has an automatic pre-approve mechanism, which means you do not have to approach the lender for the loan. If a borrower is eligible, a lender will automatically offer it. The scheme provides an opt-out option where the borrower may not avail the scheme, while someone who wants to take the benefits of the scheme will have to go through the documentation processes. The loan under this scheme is extended for a period of 4 years from the date of disbursement, and there will be no prepayment charge if a borrower wants to repay early. And there will be also no processing fee for such loans as well. What is important to note is that there will be a moratorium of 1 year on the principal repayment, but the interest payment will continue during this period. The principal repayment will then be converted into equated installments spread across the remaining period, which is 36 months.
The next one is something which all of us have been waiting for a long time, about the definition of MSMEs. The definition is being changed in favor of the MSMEs. The change is that investment limit which defined an MSME is being revised upwards.
So, the government and even the economic experts believe that reviving the MSME sector is the key to kickstart the Indian economy, and providing collateral-free automatic loans is expected to help achieve this objective. Then, the government has fulfilled a long-standing demand of the industry by providing for a new definition and classification of MSMEs, which has been revised the investment limit upwards. According to this revised definition, the earlier distinction between manufacturing and services enterprises has been removed, and both have been clubbed into a single category. Then the revised definition brings more units and businesses under the micro, small and medium category by increasing the investment and turnover limit, which is used to define these MSME industries. So this revised definition brings more units and businesses under the definition of the MSME sector and makes them eligible for the benefits that are being announced by the government. So basically, this revised definition will help in increasing the impact in the reach of these relief measures that is being announced by the government by covering more MSMEs. As per the new definition, if a company has invested rupees 1 crore and earns turnover of rupees 5 crore, it will be classified as a micro company or a micro enterprise. Likewise, an enterprise that has invested rupees 10 crore and has a turnover of rupees 50 crore will be classified as a small enterprise. And for a medium enterprise, the investment limit has been increased to rupees 50 crore, and that of the turnover has been hiked to 250 crore rupees. Then it has also been decided that the export revenue for MSME enterprises will not be included while classifying the company or an enterprise as one of them. So, this provision of excluding the exports from counting of turnover will encourage the MSMEs to export more and more without fearing to lose the benefits of a MSME. So this is expected to exponentially add to the exports from the country and leading to more growth and economic activity and creation of jobs.
It is about a 20,000 crores subordinate debt proposition which we are bringing. Now I come to talking about subordinate debt through which we want to infuse about 20,000 crores. These are meant for stressed MSMEs. So if you're providing for the standard, you're now providing for the stressed MSMEs. Now the stressed MSMEs do have a problem of equity. So for them, through a subordinate debt provision, we want to provide about 20,000 crore liquidity. 2 lakh MSMEs are likely to benefit from this. The functioning of the MSMEs which are NPA or are stressed, all of them will be eligible.
The government has identified around 2 lakh MSME units which are under severe financial stress and have turned into NPAs. So in order to help revive these stressed MSME units, the Government of India is providing around 20,000 crore rupees as subordinated debt, which is a type of debt financing. See, a subordinated loan is a type of debt that receives a lower priority level in terms of its claim to a company's assets when the company goes bankrupt. If a company defaults on its debts, the debts have an order of priority that determines when they will receive payment. Subordinated loans only get paid back after several other creditors. See, when a company goes bankrupt or is forced to liquidate its assets, it still has to pay its creditors, and subordinated loans have the lowest seniority in the hierarchy of debt claims, which means that there may be a long wait for the creditor to be paid back. So once all the unsubordinated debt holders receive payments, the subordinated debt issuers are next in the line. Then, in order to reassure and provide guarantee to the banks that are lending to these MSMEs, the government will be injecting around 4,000 crore rupees to the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for MSMEs, and these funds will provide for partial credit guarantee support to banks that are giving out loans to these stressed MSMEs. So in case these MSMEs default on their payments, at least a part of the credit would be guaranteed. So these should encourage banks to give out loans to these MSMEs in the form of subordinated debt.
There is a fund of fund being created for infusing about 50,000 crore as equity into the MSMEs. This will benefit those MSMEs who have the potential and who are viable. So we spoke about those who are standard, we spoke about those who are NPAs and stressed. Now I'm talking about MSMEs who may be doing viable business and who need hand-holding because of the situation thanks to the COVID. So this fund of fund with a corpus of 10,000 crores through mother fund and daughter fund framework will be able to provide the growth potential MSMEs greater support, and this we think will help MSMEs to expand their capacities.
The government has announced that it would be infusing equity of around 50,000 crore rupees into the MSME sector by establishing a fund of funds. See, the biggest challenge currently being faced by the MSME sector is the shortage of equity or the shortage of capital. So those MSMEs which have the potential to grow but facing shortage of capital, they would be provided with equity infusion through the fund of funds. See, a fund of funds is a mutual fund scheme that invests in other mutual fund schemes. In these, the fund manager holds a portfolio of other mutual funds instead of directly investing in equities or bonds. So it is like multiple mutual fund schemes are combined and offered as a single structure and a single NAV, that is, single net asset value. For example, if there are 4 funds like A, B, C, and D with different NAVs, a fund of funds will be a combination of all these ones with a single NAV. So the goal of the fund of funds is to achieve broad diversification and asset allocation with a variety of funds that are bundled into one fund. Establishing such a fund for infusing equity into the MSME sector was first recommended by the UK Sinha Committee, and this recommendation was included for the first time in the 2020 budget, and the government is currently in the process of establishing this fund of funds with the initial corpus of 10,000 crore rupees, and the initial corpus provided by the government goes into the mother fund, and the rest of the money would be raised into the daughter funds that are under this mother fund by tapping into the resources of private corporations and venture capitalists. So, this infusion of equity will help MSMEs which have the potential to grow, to expand their capacities, and it will also help them to get listed on the stock exchange.
Of the six, the fifth one is that for government procurement, tenders up to 200 crores will no longer be on global tender route, meaning global tenders will be disallowed in government procurement for tenders up to 200 crores. Why is this being done? Majority of the MSMEs in India were unable to supply those big mother units, as you may call, big, large companies, who they were serving all the while. Suddenly the conditions became, based on the global tenders, unmatchable by our MSMEs. So they were disqualified from supplying to companies for whom they actually grew as ancillary units. As a result, many of our MSMEs were not anymore able to participate in supplying products to many of these large units. So by bringing this condition now, we are saying for global tenders worth 200 crores or less, particularly for government procurement, they need not be global tenders at all. So this will make MSMEs do their business with a lot more confidence and carry on with it. Self-reliant India will also then be able to serve Make in India, because small units can now be participant in government purchases.
In a bid to fulfill the Prime Minister's vision of a self-reliant or Atmanirbhar India, or in order to support local production and Make in India initiative, the government has announced that for government procurement under 200 crore rupees, global tenders won't be issued. So, global tenders will not be allowed for government procurement up to 200 crore rupees. Then, it has also been decided that the government and all the central public sector enterprises will release all the funds that are due to the MSME units within 45 days. So these are the various provisions directed towards the MSME sector. And as the video is getting longer, I have confined the discussion regarding MSME sector only. And in the subsequent video of this series, I shall come up with an elaborate discussion on the NBFC sector, real estate sector, etc. So I hope you have liked this session. Do let us know about your feedback in the comment section. Thanks for watching.